And he kind of sat there for a second. He was like, oh, okay. And he was quiet. And then he said, can I get back to you on that? I was like, really? Okay. He's like, I just don't want to give you a BS answer. I want to like actually think of who you should know. Okay. I appreciate that. That's good. Out of the blue, like 2 or 3 weeks later, he texts me. He's like, hey, I found the person. It's like, really? And keep in mind, I don't have any agenda.
Right.
I don't care if it's for business. Who's somebody that I should know?
Right.
And he said, hey, I'm vacationing in Belize right now. I said, yeah. He said, I ran in to the CEO of Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' rocket ship company. I was like, that's cool. He's like, yeah, he agreed to have lunch with you. I was like, what? He's like, he lives in Phoenix. He just retired as the CEO, moved down from Seattle. He lives in Phoenix. And I was telling him about your pest control company. I was like, really? Where does he want to have lunch? I'm there.
Yeah.
So I got to spend 2 hours. I bought lunch and I got to spend 2 hours with Robert Smith, the ex-CEO of Blue Origin.
So my name's Jesse. Welcome to the Mobile Podcast Trailer. I am here with my friend Matt, and I don't even know how to say his last name.
Deroest.
Deroest.
Yeah, like rooster. Yeah.
Yep. Deroest. The roost is on fire. I'm sure he's heard that before.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Matt is the owner of Ultimate Pest. And if you've never watched or listened to this podcast is for dreamers, risk takers, those who started something creative, but ended up realizing that they own a business. They didn't have any intention of being an entrepreneur, but we've ended up here. If you are one of those persons that all of a sudden found yourself running contracts creatively or even home service wise, and you're like, how the heck did I get here? This podcast is for you. And so we've been talking for quite a while. So maybe this is where we'll start the podcast, but we've been going for a half hour already. And man, I'm already pumped about this conversation. And honestly, like, we could have just kept going and I didn't even need to interrupt what we were already doing.
It's all good, man.
But like, so you moved here 6 years ago.
Yep.
At that point, you had one kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chandler.
Which is funny because you didn't have Chandler in Chandler.
No, we didn't know there was a city called Chandler.
So you then moved to Arizona, close to Chandler.
Yeah.
And all right, that's cool.
That was one of the prerequisites. We were like, we can't live in Chandler. We could live in Gilbert.
We have to live in Gilbert. We can't live in Chandler.
Yeah.
That's funny because he was born in Chandler and so is my oldest daughter.
Oh, that's amazing.
But at Chandler Regional.
That's funny.
So let's go with this. So we're gonna talk everything that Matt is open to. He says he's an open book,
yep.
So which is rad. But we're gonna start pretty simple. I'll do a softball question for you. Where did the desire to start a pest control company come from?
I'll give you a short answer and then I'll go back to it a little bit. It's a lucrative industry. It makes a lot of money. I have no interest in pests whatsoever. So the desire came out of owning a business that we can grow and scale and eventually not be an active owner in. So that's like the short answer.
Active owner meaning you're not going on the day-to-day spraying jobs.
Not even operationally in the office. I don't want anything to do with it long term. Like, I want to own it and I want nobody to know that
you want to put everybody else in control.
Yeah. Eventually, like, that's long-term goal. I'm not a great operational manager. There's a lot of people that do that way better than I do. I just am an entrepreneur at heart. And so I want to be able to have something that writes me a check every month that I can go have fun, go start other businesses, do something. But pest control, the long answer is I was always in landscaping in Idaho. I had an expiration date at every job that I ever had before I even started. Like either, 18, I don't know, can I cuss on here? A little bit. I'll keep it mild.
Keep it to a minimum.
I'll keep it mild. I know your son's here. But either they would get sick of my crap at 18 months and fire me, or I'd get sick of theirs and kick rocks. So 18 to 20 months was about that time frame.
Okay.
And so I'd always had side gigs where I just, I would fix sprinklers, I would mow lawns, whatever I could do. And going through high school, I had 80 residential mowing accounts. So, most of my teachers in high school, I was making more money than them. And I had a hard time listening. I was like,
bro, you and me both.
Yeah.
I just wasn't making money. I was just trying to play music.
Right. Same end result. I was just like, why am I listening to you when I'm working after school and making, 60 grand a year or 80 grand a year? So I had a hard time with that. I graduated with a 1.8 GPA.
I think I was pretty close to you.
Yeah, right. Like they made me take a test, and it's called an option 2 test at the Boise School District. They said, this is called an option 2 test, Matt, and we can't graduate anybody that has less than a 2.0. But if you take this test and you pass with a 90% or above, we will let you pass whatever your GPA is. And I was like, oh, challenge accepted. I missed one question on the 100 question test.
Nice.
Passed with a 99, and they were like, all right, we'll pass you. And so I just always been mowing lawns, didn't really care about school. I was not going to go to college because I couldn't stand pain for 4 years of what I just went through.
Yeah.
So I mowed lawns. You started working at a landscape company, still doing my stuff on the side. Again, that 12 to 18 months, 12 to 24 month, work somewhere, quit or get fired. And quite honestly, it was like getting fired. Because I could stay somewhere and bear the pain.
Yeah, you could do the bare minimum.
Yeah, I could do the bare minimum and just go do my own thing.
Yep.
So I'd get fired most of the time. And then I got fired from this job. And this is the only job that I quit right as he was telling me I was fired.
Okay.
I walk in one morning, I'm 4 minutes late. I'm a manager. My team's waiting on me. My boss is like, Matt, come here. I'm typing up my email before he could pull me into his office, letting all my clients know that I quit and I didn't get fired. And he's in the office. He's like, hey, Matt, I'm like, hey, man, I quit. And he was like, get out of here. I'm like, yes, that's good. So, long story. So I went to go work by myself, just doing sprinkler repairs. Run into this guy named Gordon. I love him to death. He's a great guy. Still do work for him once a year. And he had a son named Matt that owned a utility company, and he needed somebody to come do the landscaping for the utility company. So when they come in and they do JUT, joint utility trench, they would mess up all the landscaping.
Right.
It was already there. So he was like, I want to own something where we can come and do the landscaping afterwards, but it's our company. I was like, I'm your guy. I can help you. So he hired me on at $48 an hour, hourly, not salary.
Okay.
And had me come run this landscape company. Well, I don't know about you, but $48 an hour at 26 years old is a ton of money.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I wasn't stupid with it, but I probably had bigger of a head than what I should have.
Yeah.
That lasted about 5.5 months. And I got fired the day after Christmas in 2019. And he said, hey, I just think I made a mistake. I probably paid you too much money. And I just realized I don't want to be in the landscape business at all. It's like, yeah, fair enough. Sounds good. So I looked at my wife. We had one kid. She was 18 months old at that point, or just over a year old. And I said, well, we've been talking about moving to Arizona. You want to go? And she had a job at Reliable Credit, which is high interest auto loans.
Okay.
She's like, yeah, let's go. So within 3 weeks, we lived here, and I didn't have a job. She got a job, Chase. And I started Crown Lawn and Pest as soon as we moved here, because I knew whatever we were going to do, I was going to eventually own my own thing.
Right.
Working for somebody else is just not in my blood. So I started Crown Lawn and Pest, and I named it that because in Idaho, people care about what their lawns look like. And I just didn't realize the whole situation here. Nobody has a lawn. And if they do have a lawn, they don't care if it has weeds or not.
Right.
They just, something's there.
They just want the weeds not to be there.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do anything about it.
Right. And if you have grass, like, that's just a blessing to have grass. It doesn't matter what it looks like. So I started that, and then I started working at Caretaker Landscape. Big red trucks, huge company, largest privately owned landscape company here in Arizona.
Yep, I see them all around.
Yeah. And so I started working there as an account manager, and then fast forward 4.5 years, I make it up to where I'm running their water, tree, and their spray department, all 3 departments. I'm running that, and like the time had come. I was just like, hey.
You had lasted the longest.
It was 4.5 years.
Yeah.
Like every month, me and my wife were looking at each other like, is this okay? Like,
have we gone too far?
Yeah. Like, are they talking about like getting rid of you? Like, and I'm like, no, I'm the poster child. They love me there. And just because like I knew what butts to kiss.
Right. You knew how to do it.
I knew how to do it to where they would leave me alone about doing my own thing. So I had built Crown Lawn and Pest up to maybe $7,000 or $8,000 a month consistently in gross revenue. And they were paying me really well at Caretaker. I think my base salary was $130 and then bonuses on top of that. So the fact that we were making $8,000 and then I was making more than that at my job.
Life was good.
Life was good. But the time had come, like we did a cruise to Alaska, just the guys in my family. And I came back and my boss had a British accent, and he was the reason why I would leave. And he came into my office talking his British accent. And I was like, oh, today's the day. Like it's today. So I like, as he's leaving my office, I'm typing my resignation. I gave him 30 days. They let me work the 30 days, but September 6th of 2024 was my last day employed. And then we went up to Mount Rushmore, had a nice weekend with the family. And then we started full time in pest control. So that's kind of the long story behind it.
Love it.
But it's been great, man. It's a whirlwind. My wife stays home. You know, we were talking earlier about how she homeschools. We have 4 kids. We got Chandler, who's 7, Maverick, who is turning 5 in May. Then we have Morgan, 2.5, and then Micah, who's 8 or 9 months. So Chandler's the only one that is actively in school, but Maverick's right there. So
yeah, just about to get it started.
Yeah, exactly. So she's able to do that. She's been able to stay home since Maverick was a couple months old. So that's been a super huge blessing. And yeah, that's why we started doing our own thing, is so we could have more options, you know?
Right.
Jobs don't pay you what you're worth. Jobs pay you the least amount to replace you.
Yep. And,
you know, I wanted to be able to control a lot of that future. And the only way you're going to do that in America or anywhere is like own your own thing and make your own destiny. And so that's what we do.
That's rad.
I love it, man.
Dude. So, with a home service, is it safe to say it's a home service? With a home service business, there is a cap for each truck that you have.
Sure. Yeah.
Because an individual can only service so many accounts each day. What's your cap per truck? And, you know, what's kind of the breaking point for each of your, like, how many employees do you have?
Currently we have 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Full time?
3.5. So
3.5.
One guy's part-time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so does that mean you have 4 little Mavericks running around?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think is the Mavericks, like, one of the coolest trucks, because
it's a zippy little thing.
It's so fuel efficient from what I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's pretty powerful. I actually think that it probably could pull this trailer.
It might be able to. It's rated for 2,000 pounds. The problem is the tongue weight. The tongue rate is only weighted for 200 pounds, and you can get 200 pounds on a tongue real quick. So
yeah,
I've looked into it because I was going to buy a trailer instead of another vehicle, and but yeah, they're nice trucks, man. I like them. So I have 2 Mavericks, 1 Tundra, and 1 van.
And you just recently got the van, or you just recently got it wrapped?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago we just bought it. So
Okay.
we bought that one cash and just bought it from Cox Communications. They cycle out their fleet like every 7 years. So
That's cool.
it's a 2018 Ram ProMaster. I've never had one of those little vans, and it's got its dings and scrapes and issues, but it'll do the job.
Hey, you wrapped it. It looks good.
Yeah.
So like what's the cap rate on, I don't even know if I'm using the right word for that, but like what's the max that, let's start with that.
Yeah. So gross revenue last year, I had one technician and he was able to do 375 grand. So if that's about 30 grand a month. That's very high in the industry in pest control.
Yeah.
We typically try to get $1,500 a day on that truck. And again, that's higher than most pest control companies. But we offer a different service offering than most pest control companies. We do a lot of pigeons. Pigeons are very lucrative. Nobody wants to do them.
Right.
There's pigeon poop. There's issues with that. So because we do those other offerings, termites, pigeons, rodents, we can increase that daily ticket average pretty high. But my goal out of the truck, like I want to see it. If I can hit this, I'm good, is 25,000 per truck per guy.
Okay. Per month?
Per month. Yeah.
Okay.
$25,000. And that'll put me at the $300,000.
Yep.
Yeah, per year. So if I can hit that, I'm good. And so we have one technician that does all of my weed control right now. And he's a little bit higher than that. And then we have one technician that does all of my general pest and birds. And he's right about the 25. And then I have a part-time guy who's doing weeds. And he's probably on the lower end. He's probably about $1,000 a day. And then I have one office staff. So we got 4 trucks, but 3 technicians out there doing all the work.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so is there a point where you go, okay, I need to add another person? How many I guess I should ask it this way. How many accounts are you running monthly?
Yeah. So I'm not going to give you the answer you want because of the business model. We only run about 300 monthly accounts, 300 stops, because we do pigeons, rodents, termites, and probably 40% of our business is weed control. So weed control, we have 2 avatars. We have residential weed control at homes, and then we go after landscape companies that can't do it all in-house. So because I have a background in landscape, I was able to kind of talk their language, and I know a lot of the people in the industry. So I could go to a big company like a Caretaker that's doing $50 million a year and say, hey, when you get busy, call me and I'll just send my guy to come help. You don't have to hire a whole nother guy, get a whole nother truck. Just utilize me as you see fit when needed. So what's the point that we need another guy? This month we're going to be running right at 95,000 in gross revenue. If we can duplicate that again next month, we need another guy. Yeah. So, because we're just, if you're hitting 25,000 per person at 3 people, that's 75 grand. I'm running 95 this month, and it's just
it's a little too much.
It's a little bit too much. Yeah. Okay. So if we can duplicate that again, we'll put somebody else in the truck.
So you'll buy another truck.
Yeah. It's kind of nuts. It's, I think most pest control companies, are probably running 15 to 20 grand per truck per month. And once they get probably close to 13 to 15, they're looking at buying another one. But again, it all just depends, because there's two different types of companies. There's ones that want volume and are the cheap guys, and then there's ones that don't, and they're $150 on one service, and they only do 8 stops in a day, versus this other company might do 17 stops in a day and they're $60 a service. So
it all averages out,
yeah.
But it's dependent on what type of company they are.
Yeah, for sure. And we're definitely the redheaded stepchild in this industry. Most companies are just trying to get residential doors. How many doors can they do? And for the most part, if you can get $250,000 a year per truck, they're pretty happy. We want to see, like I said, we want to see that up to about 300 just because of our extras.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, if you had to close up shop on your current business, and let's just say you had, let's say you sold it off.
Yeah.
And within the sale, you had an agreement that you couldn't enter into pest control again.
Sure.
What other business? Because you said it earlier, you're an entrepreneur and you want to be able to exit, basically the day to day
Sure.
at some point. So what's another thing that you would go and do?
I really like light industrial real estate. So stuff that's like, 2000
Metal buildings.
2,000 square foot shop with a small office.
Yeah.
I'd probably start investing in some of those. If I had to do something that was more, service based, I would probably, I don't know here in town. There's a couple different things that have floated through my head. Landscape companies are great, but they don't make a lot of money. I've thought about that. And here in town, there's a lot of just no name guys that make bare minimum. Something in home services is always good. Honestly, if I had to start over, I would probably start like an electrical company, like an electrician for home services. But I wouldn't be the electrician.
Right.
Because I just think there's going to be such a need for it. Everything is electric nowadays. Everything in your house, everything like data centers, industrial buildings, and I think there's going to be a huge shortage of that.
Yeah.
So I think that would be really good. But, I've always liked real estate. Real estate's been a lot of fun. I don't own anything right now other than our house, but, light industrial or storage units, I think have always been a great thing.
Yeah.
And then apartment complexes, I think are great.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I would like to do is raw land and then throw like Connex boxes on them and use those as storage facilities.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
So building out adding doors to, let's say we can get 20 Connex boxes on there that are 40 or 50 feet. And then you just section them off in, 10 square feet capacities and
dude, that'd be
put
great.
doors on them.
Have you seen what U-Haul does?
No.
U-Haul.
Well, maybe I have, but I haven't realized it.
U-Haul will take their old box vans and
Uh-huh.
they'll take the box off of them and put them on ground and sell that as storage units.
Oh,
So if they're not worthy for the road, but they're worthy to just sit there, that's what they'll do.
interesting.
Yeah. It's like there's one in Idaho that I know specifically that's like a whole section of their lot is just extra storage and it's just the box vans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But U-Haul is one of the great companies that they've always been there.
Yeah. And
you don't really realize how much money they're actually making.
Oh, it's bizarre.
But it's so much money.
Yeah.
I don't even know the numbers.
Yeah.
Give me the top 5 tasks that must be done in order to have a successful business.
Okay. I think you got to hire the right people.
Okay.
You don't know everything and you need to realize that pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
So hire the right people that are smarter than you. I think a lot of people hire people that are just dumber than them, and that's not the right move. Like hire people that know how to do the things that you want to get done better than you. So that's definitely one. I think you need to know your numbers and you need to be diving into them. So many people, I see this a lot with Facebook ads. People will run ads and be like, "Oh, I got a sale."
Yeah.
It's like, well, how many leads did you buy? What's your conversion rate? What's the booking rate? What's the cancellation rate? What's all of the numbers leading up to that sale?
Yeah.
Oh shoot, you lost $100.
Right. Right.
So I think knowing your numbers is critical. As a business owner, another thing you need to do is you need to be everywhere. Networking is important, but it's super important. If one of the biggest compliments I can receive is when somebody calls me and says, "Hey, you know everybody. Where's?"
I actually saw one of your posts.
Yeah.
That you said that you spoke about being a connector.
Yeah.
Which I am that person too.
Yeah.
I know, I like knowing people.
Yeah.
It's like, the coffee shop that we're at today.
Yeah.
I know the owner.
Right.
I've known the owner for, probably the better part of 15 years.
Right.
He lives in my old neighborhood that I grew up in.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so great.
But that's the thing is like being a connector, is an important piece. The part that I don't do is network enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think if you can be everywhere, and it goes back to a little bit about what we were talking about with my social media strategy, is like when you open your phone, I want my face to be the first thing you see. But like in person too, after this, I have a happy hour with commercial property managers. Commercial property managers like happy hours. I just need to be there. Like, you need to be there shaking hands and kissing babies, because that's people need to see you. And networking is that, just going out and not networking to, I love people when they network and they have this stack of business cards and they think they're going to get rid of them. That's not networking. Like go be out there and just have fun, be yourself, provide more value than what you're taking. And when the situation arises, make something happen, but don't be out there just trying to get 17 names and cards. And, so I think that's critical. Repeat the question one more time to make sure.
Just 5. So you're on 3.
Okay.
The 5 must do tasks.
Yeah. You need to make sure that anything that's regulatory by the state is done properly. Like if you're not setting up your taxes properly, not setting up your payroll properly, you don't have your correct insurances in place, that's critical. You have to get that stuff done.
Yeah.
If God forbid something happens and something's not in place, you're screwed. We had a guy fall off the roof back in August, and the first thing that went through my head outside of his safety was, oh gosh, I remember getting a letter saying, hey, we haven't received your payment for your workman's comp insurance. And it was a mix up with what account it was coming out of. So the first thing that went through my head was like, do I have workman's comp insurance? Because if I wouldn't have, I would have been stuck with like a $300,000 bill with him falling off that roof.
Right.
And so just knowing your stuff with that, I think is critical. And then last thing, I think you need to have a vision that's bigger than yourself. This is a tough topic for me. You follow anything Hormozi does?
A little, yeah. Okay. I know who he is, and I have the $100 million offers book.
Okay, so he if anybody follows him closely, he is just like, do more, work all the time, very much just like go get it, no matter what it takes. Mm-hmm. And if you're not at the office at 4:00 in the morning and 9 p.m., what are you doing with your life?
You're not doing enough.
Type of attitude, right?
Right.
So he sat down and did a podcast with Tony Robbins recently.
Yeah.
Did you happen to listen to that?
I caught some clips of it.
I came away, I don't know Tony Robbins very well. I know of him. I know what he does, but I haven't followed him. But I followed Hormozi. And I came out of that so depressed, that podcast, because here I am pretty much putting everything on hold except to build my business, because it's my duty to build the business.
Right.
Because making $1 million a year or making $10 million a year is the goal.
Right.
And I have Alex Hormozi, who just made $106 million in 30 or 60 hours selling books, looking at Tony Robbins saying like, all right, coach, what now?
Yeah.
And what's the purpose of all of this? And I just came out of that and I was like, oh shoot, what is the purpose? Like if he made $106 million in 60 hours and he's looking at Tony saying, I'm not happy. What's going to happen when I hit $1 million in revenue, $10 million in revenue? I look at my wife that is maybe there with the kids. And I'm like, hey, look what I did. And oh shoot, no, you left.
Yeah.
And so that hit me really hard. So I think your vision has to be bigger than just making money.
Yep.
And I'm going through that right now. Like, I don't know what that is for me, but having a crystal clear reason why you're doing the things that you're doing, because business is hard.
Yep.
And the problem is it's way harder than you think it is. And it's harder in different ways than you think it is. You think working all the time is hard. It's worse.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
worse than you think it is, I promise. Yep. And, Tommy Mello, who's here local, right?
Yeah. A1 Garage.
Yeah. He had a little short clip. He said, I wish people would stop promoting being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Because
did you listen to that on My First Million?
I think, yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
And he was just like, it's for 3 or 4% of the population, and it is not glamorous.
No.
And so having something that's pulling you instead of you pushing to get there, I think is important.
Well, I think that this is a good time to something that is kind of like my mission in this, mobile podcast trailer. The podcast arm of it is like reminding people that like you are a miracle already.
Yeah.
I always say you've already won the race. Like being born is like one of the biggest like you've watched 4 kids be born. Right. I watched all 4 of my kids. My oldest daughter came out purple with her umbilical cord wrapped around her head 3 times. I had the scissors in my hands to cut the umbilical cord, and the doctor grabbed him from me and was like, sorry, not doing it this time. And and she, she never showed any signs of distress in all of the 22 hours of, birth.
Yeah. Right.
And then, he came out like lightning. It was the fastest one.
Yeah.
Still, he's the fastest at everything in our family.
Yeah.
And then I watched my wife without any meds birth our 3rd.
Yeah.
And I thought that I was going to end up alone.
Yeah.
And so like,
it's tough, man.
Dude, I tell you that like you're already living a miracle life just because you've made it this far. And the most important thing, and this is actually like one of my biggest faults, is I am first a dad and first a husband and then a business owner.
Yeah.
And so when I have clients that reach out to me and they're like, hey, can you come right now and film? No.
Right.
No. It's like 3:00. By 3:00, we'll be home.
Right.
And my work day is done.
Yeah.
I'm not, I work between the hours. Like we went and worked out for 2 hours this morning, and then we're here, and then we'll be home.
Right.
And I'm done.
Right.
And I know for a fact that Alex Hermosi would look at me and go, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
You think you're going to make $1 million a year?
Right.
And guess what? I actually don't think I want to make $1 million a year.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that I'd be pretty happy with 375,000.
Right.
I think that if I end up walking away from a year making, my best year, we made almost 200 grand.
Yeah. Right.
And it's just me and a couple of dudes making videos. It doesn't mean that I banked all that money.
Oh, sure.
It just means that I figured out how to get over 100 grand. But I'm first theirs. I'm only going to have one wife.
Right.
That is the commitment that I have made. And so if I have to get a W-2 job at some point, just to keep the wife and the family happy and
Yep.
my wife home, then that's what I'll have to do.
Yep.
But the most important aspects of my life is being a dad and being a husband.
Yeah.
And I admire those who strive for millions a year, but the only way that I'm going to get to millions of a year is if I'm not doing that day to day.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Well, and I appreciate you bringing that up because I can tell a quick story about that.
Dude,
so
talk. You know we're in an hour and 5 in, but tell a story.
So my wife's from Georgia. Her mom is back there, and so is her sister. So her sister called her up Saturday. Today's Thursday, so this was Saturday afternoon. Left her a couple like voice memos, and it was just very obvious that she probably needed a hug. Her sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked at Gabby and I said, "Do you need to go to Georgia?" And she said, "Yeah, I think I probably need to go to Georgia." I said, "Okay, well, you can leave the 3 older kids with me. You can take Micah, the young one, if you want." She was like, "Well, they would probably really want to see their cousins and grandma and stuff like that." I said, "Okay." I said, I think I got too many commitments with work. I think I got to stay here." And she was like, "No, that's fine." I was like, "Are you sure you can want to take 4 kids to Georgia by yourself?" She's like, it'll be fine. And my wife has always just been like, "I'll do whatever it takes. It's fine." Yep. And I'm not going to complain about it. Like, she's great. And so I said, "Okay, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to work from the time that I wake up until I go to bed. And I'm just going to get so many projects done."
Yeah.
Because as a business owner, there's like the urgent stuff, the people
that
emailing me.
Yeah.
And then there's the list of like, this needs to be done, but not like this week. Right. So yesterday, I'm looking at my whiteboard. Now, keep in mind, so that was Saturday. She left Sunday morning.
Okay.
So flew out at 5:00 in the morning.
With all the kids.
With all the kids. And
from Mesa Gateway or
from Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
Sky Harbor. Okay. So like, it was interesting because it was at 5 p.m. that I bought the tickets and she was gone by 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So very interesting, but
quick
that's
turnaround.
Quick turnaround, but it was okay. So she was able to surprise her mom and sister, and her sister just bawling, and like she videoed it and she was like, "Hey, I came to deliver a hug," and her sister's just like, like, it's amazing. Like, it's great. Like it, like if money can buy anything, it's more experiences like that I want.
Yep.
So, but I'm here by myself and I have this whiteboard in my office, and I was looking at my whiteboard and I was like, I haven't been able to get any of these projects done. I was like, with the wife and kids here, I have all this extra time. I can work from the time that I wake up until I go to bed. And then it clicked. I do that anyways with them here. So what time did I get?
Yeah, you didn't get any.
They're just not here.
Yeah.
And I told my wife that. She's like, "I've been telling you that for a while."
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see it now.
Yeah.
There was no extra time with the kids not being here because with my wife and kids at home, homeschooling, I'd leave at 7 a.m, come home at 5 p.m, have dinner and go back to work in the office until I go to bed. So what time did I gain with them not being here? The 30 minutes for dinner? That's it. So something's changing.
So let me ask you this. What are your kids interested in? And what is your wife interested in?
So Gabby likes anything that involves just the family being together, whether that's going to a zoo, going on hikes, going to the movies together, whatever involves just the family being together, she's excited about. And then, my kids, Maverick really likes monster trucks, race cars, dinosaurs, all that stuff. Chandler's really in just to anything girly. We just started her in horseback riding lessons. She loves that. And then we started.
Do you take her to that?
We've done it once so far, and I was there. Yeah. So we're making an effort. I'm making an effort, not we. I'm making an effort to be there, like homeschool co-ops and stuff.
Yeah.
I've done a real crappy job at being there once or twice a month, but that's something that we're gonna implement.
So we you guys do a co-op?
Yeah, Gabby does a co-op every Thursday. Yeah.
What's it called? It used to be called Branches.
No. It's in the Southeast Valley. I couldn't tell you the name of it.
Okay.
And that's an issue.
Maybe figure that out.
Yeah.
So we do a homeschool co-op once a week on Wednesdays. And for the last 7 years,
Yeah.
I've gone every week.
That's amazing.
That's great. And we go all the way out to Surprise for ours. It's called Branches.
Okay.
So there are several branches in the valley.
Okay.
But there used to be one in Chandler. But they broke off and started their own name. Like they created their own. They divided. They broke off. They were pruned, we'll say. But they so we, my wife and I teach a worship band class.
Awesome.
Every week. And our 2 older kids are in it with us. And I've just made it a point to be there.
Right.
And if I could encourage you, like, treat it like this. You're only going to get one wife.
Right.
And it sounds like your wife's pretty rad.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So don't screw it up. And the way that you don't screw it up is you just be there.
Yeah.
And I need to do a better job of this, but make it, you said anything that involves the family doing something together. Like, it doesn't have to be big.
Right.
You could even have Friday night movie nights where the family gets together and you're responsible for cooking.
Yeah. Right.
You probably like to, eat meat or make pizzas or something. Buy, if you don't already have one, buy a little pizza oven where you can make pizzas as a family and then sit down and watch a movie. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have that kind of time. We certainly don't. But like, make it a point to, because you're already doing like a bang up job at running a company.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you said you wanted to get to a place where you're not involved in every element of the day to day. Let that be a challenge to you to step into, okay, how can I, even if it starts on, just Fridays where you're like, you know what, I'm done at noon.
Yeah.
Or, like for me, like, dude, I make we make such little money compared to what you guys do. But I don't care.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because like, yeah, I want to make a lot of money just so that I can say yes a lot.
Yeah.
But my wife and kids are a lot more important to me than the money that comes and goes.
Yeah.
Now will more busy work help? Absolutely. I would, we're about to onboard a new client that's going to be a pretty big deal.
Sure.
Because we have a lot riding on it. It'll be our biggest production level contract yet. But they already have 24,000 YouTube subscribers.
Oh, nice.
But they post like 30-second videos.
Oh.
And I'm like, bro, you guys are doing it wrong. And they do
YouTube.
They do auction and memorabilia. And I'm like, there's so much you guys could be like. For me, you talked about like the educational piece not working super well. Bro, I've taught so many things on YouTube that crush.
I think that's the platform for it.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do a lot of educational, I think that's the platform.
And I think that like there's a niche out there for everybody 100%. That if you're willing to put the time, energy, and effort into it taking time, because it's not like AFT Construction, we have 10,000 subscribers. Dude, we amazing. Just crossed 10,000. I've produced 1,500 videos for them.
Yeah. Right.
Like if Mr. Beast saw that, he would be like, what are you doing? And, but here's the thing. I don't focus on getting the right hook.
Right.
I don't focus on getting the right, angle and
The
like it's
thumbnail.
I don't produce. I produce an authentic experience.
Right.
So when we're on a job site, you might get a less cinematic experience because guess what? We're on the freaking job site.
Right. Yeah.
And so for me, I cut my I don't film after 3:00.
Right.
I'll wake up at whatever time you want me to. But the reason why I'll do that is because it doesn't impact my wife and kids.
That's a good point. I love that.
But 3:00 comes, if I'm not home, like on Tuesdays, I have to be home before 2:30 because my wife has tap. And my wife being able to go to tap class on her own, without me, without the kids, without anything, that I will do everything in my power to get there. So guess what I do? I make sure that I'm not filming at that time.
I love that.
And
that's so great.
Because the most important piece of our lives as dads is for us to be there for our kids and for our wives.
Yeah.
And if husbands would stop thinking that money is what's going to make them stick around, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's your time.
Oh, 100%. Well, I'll see that subtly where I'm like, hey, let's go to Great Wolf Lodge for the weekend. And it's like $1,500 experience.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could accomplish that with $100 at home.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
well, that's why I brought up like the movie nights and making your own pizzas.
Yeah.
Like just figure out something like if your wife and kids love sushi, figure out how to make it at home.
Yeah.
Make it a fun experience. You don't have to spend a ton of money.
Right.
It's the time that we want to spend. Which this has gone in a completely different direction.
Oh, I love it, man. This is great.
Like
you're helping me.
You're already doing things successfully.
Yeah.
So it probably would, be advantageous just to find somebody that can take over something in your, day-to-day work schedule.
Yeah.
And you just put them in that position.
Gone from having part-time office help to March 2nd having a full-time office.
There you
go. So that's going to take off a lot.
Yeah. I need to do a better job of marketing this and marketing my own company. But like my thing, I think really what it is I just don't network enough.
With that being said, do you know State 48 Roofing, Jason Payne?
So what's funny is I think through Jason, I don't know him.
Okay.
But I know his content.
Yeah.
And because of his content, I think I found you.
Okay.
And then there's also like Dino Turf.
I texted him about you.
Really?
He's my best friend.
He's your best friend?
Yeah. I love Anthony. Yeah.
I love like, so I always go, okay, what's funny is like the close-up shop question kind of comes from a point of like, okay, if I have to pivot, what else do I go and do?
Sure. Yeah.
And in my head, service-based businesses, pest control. My friends own EcoGuard.
Oh yeah.
So competitor to you, maybe.
Is that Mike Lee?
So
Shane.
Yep.
Yeah. Shane
and Derek. I don't know if they have another business partner, but maybe they do.
Mike Lee's the guy who founded it and brought in Shane and Derek.
Okay.
So
yeah. So I know Shane real well.
Okay.
And for a long time I was always like, bro, you guys need to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is just start YouTube.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it will always be a compliment to what you do, whether you make, ad revenue from it or not. It just complements.
Yeah.
It adds another layer of the know, like, and trust.
That
That's
makes
the
sense.
part.
Yeah.
That's the part.
I like that.
And you can't quantify that piece. Like the know, like, and trust is the piece where, like, for AFT, I've been, you could say that I'm a drain on the company because there's no quantifiable way to go, yes, Jesse has made us lots of money. But the thing is we can go, all right, when I took over YouTube, they had 7 contracts.
Right.
And when we look at their contracts today, they have like 35 on their books.
Yeah. It's like billboards.
Yes.
Billboards, there's no way to say, oh, I saw your billboard. It's just omnipresence.
Right. It's just, like you said earlier, like, I just want to show up when you open your phone. I don't care where it is. I want to show up on your feed somewhere.
Right.
That's if, now that we've talked about AFT a million times, you'll finally
I know my phone's going to pick it up.
Yeah. You're going to see AFT. But that's the key, is like every time you open up LinkedIn,
right,
my friend Brad is there. Every time you open up Instagram, Brad is there. Facebook, Brad's there.
Yeah.
You will always see his content.
Yeah.
And he's got, 270,000 followers.
That's great.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's funny because, Jason and the Dino Turf and all of these guys that subsequently have a much smaller following than my friend Brad.
Sure.
They're all like, here's how you do it. And I'm like, bro, yes, I know that's how you do it.
I was with Jason. He's a connector. He connects a lot of people, but he did, he's getting ready to do his 3rd one. I don't know if I'll be a part of it or not, but
the Rap and Chat.
Yeah. This at the Rap and Chat would murder just for the networking. You don't even have to have people in here talking.
Just pull it up and be there.
Just park it and be there. The last 2 he did, it was free to park your truck and just be there. I would get in contact with him, and I can give you his number after this if you want. But like,
thank you.
Like, I would get in contact with him, and I think he's going to charge for the next one. But even if it was like $100 to park this trailer there, you're going to have coconut cleaning, you're going to have Green Mingo, Brave and Grant with gains. You're going to have all, and then you're going to have 100. I think at the last Rap and Chat, there's 225 business owners that cared about their presence on social media there. And so, and I bet you out of that 225, I bet you there was 15 or 20 people that had a podcast.
Yeah.
Like that I could think of.
Yeah. I think my friend Tommy Hunter
with Hunter Winterwatch.
was there.
Yeah.
And that, I think that maybe how I learned about the Rap and Chat.
Yeah.
I was like, I should go to that.
Oh, it'd be great.
But it's at night. And I'm like,
very true. That's the 3:00 rule. I think that's why I haven't implemented that. Like my happy hour today starts at 3.
Well, I think that there are days where if I told my wife, hey, I'm going to do this thing because it will benefit the business, she'll be like, okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny, but Eli and my oldest, well, actually, all of my kids are very theater driven.
Okay.
My youngest son, he's 6. He is not in theater yet, but he will be. We've done several plays, but I've never done a play. And I always tell my kids that, like, I was the theater kid that never did theater.
Okay.
Because I was so worried about being cool.
Yeah.
That I wasn't willing to sacrifice my coolness for, and so I was in a band, and it wasn't, marching band, because that's not cool either.
Right.
And so,
dude, that's awesome. I played drums in the band for a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah.
So Eli plays drums. bass, guitar, keyboard,
Dude, that's
and
amazing.
ukulele. Which he's pretty proficient at all
Great
of them.
job, man. I had to focus on just beating things.
Yeah. Well, he started on bass, and then we actually lost our drummer for the worship band at our homeschool group.
Mhm.
And so we were like, all right, now you have to learn drums.
Yeah, good luck.
And so we pushed him there. His mom's a drummer. That's actually how my wife and I met.
No way.
Is we were playing music together. I play bass and she plays drums.
That's
and
amazing.
So, she doesn't practice or play as much as she, used to, but she's an amazing drummer, and it would be fun. It would be fun if someday she reignites that area of her life. But we've got 4 kids to teach.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But I got this text message from an acquaintance, and she was like, "Hey, we're doing this play called Newsies, and I was wondering if you would want to be in it." And I thought that she had texted me accidentally. And so I didn't respond to it. And then a week later, she texts me again and is like, "Hey, just following up on that idea I had." And I was like, "Oh, you're
serious.
You're serious about me. I thought that you had accidentally text me." And so I was just like playing it cool, like, nah. And so I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my wife and kids. And she goes, "No, I think that you would be really good for this part. And we're offering you the part." And I was like, I don't even have to audition? And she goes, "You kind of don't. Like, it would be cool if you sent in a self-tape, but really you don't, all we need is a yes, basically." And I told, Stephanie and the kids, and my kids were like, "You have to do it." And I looked at my wife and I was like, "Do you think that I could?" And she's like, You've said for years that, you never got to do, theater, because you were too concerned. Are you concerned now? And I'm like, well, I'm mainly concerned about time.
Right.
But do we have the time to do it? And she's like, well, it's right before we get really busy with other things.
Yeah.
So theoretically, if you want to do it, dude, now's the time. And so I'm in this play.
That's
doing it. And again, I had to make the time to consciously do it. So it's give yourself, you're probably systematic about how you do things. So pick a couple of days a week where you can hit the exit job.
Right. Yeah. Hit the little eject button.
That eject button and you'll be good.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest piece is, especially for us as business owners, our brain, we're not going to be able to disconnect that.
Sure.
But what we do need to do is figure out how to disconnect enough where you're spending time with the wife and kids.
Right.
And I need to do a better job of taking my wife on dates. So,
you and me both, brother.
All right. So let's see. That actually kind of, so this is a long pause because I'm trying to figure out what's the best thing. So how do you separate yourself or your business from other pest control businesses? You've spoken a little bit about, what you guys do differently. Expand on that.
Well, here in Arizona, there's 1,500 registered pest control companies in
1,500
state.
Which, by the way, I almost owned one.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing.
Well, maybe we'll get into that.
Yeah. Most of those are solo operators. Okay, so the guy wanted to start a company, goes out and starts it. I definitely started that way But on the other hand, another majority of those are people that want to just go get residential doors. They're interested in selling reoccurring revenue pest control. Private equity has gotten into the pest control realm, home services in general, but
For
pest
sure.
control specifically. Most notably, Green Mango, selling for 17 times EBITDA, which was $100 million. Local company. And,
Dang.
you think of Cam Bodden, local guy, he owns Coconut Cleaning. And
Did he own Green Mango too?
yeah, he was sole owner of Green Mango. Yeah. I think his dad was an investor, and then he had Dusty, but I think he bought Dusty off. I don't know the
Dang,
full.
I need to know that guy too.
Yeah, Cam Bodden's a great guy.
Which I think because he knows Jason.
Yeah, they're good buddies. So, but with all this money of private equity getting in there, a lot of guys are just focused on reoccurring revenue. I don't want to do anything that I'm not charging every month for and servicing that residential home. We are not like that. I will take the one-time bird job that's just doing alcoves, and we'll do the one-time termite treatment. We'll go to your house if it's bed bugs. Like we'll do those one-time things that these guys are so attracted to right now, that we'll do the things that the guys are not attracted to, just to earn the business. So that's one thing that sets us apart. And then the other thing is we really focus on weeds. Weed control this month is over 50% of my business. It's weed season, obviously.
So you're just spraying
weeds,
spraying a pesticide or whatever.
Yep.
That knocks it out.
Yeah, exactly. So we're mixing a post-emergent, which kills weeds that are there, with a pre-emergent, which helps prevent weeds from popping back up. We sell it as a twice-a-year service for residential homes. But for these landscapers, there's so much demand out there. What happens is you have an HOA. Mm-hmm. That HOA hires the property management company to manage their affairs.
Right.
That property management company reaches out to all the vendors, landscaping being one of them. Within that contract, that landscaper provides tree care, lawn care, grass mowing, trimming the shrubs, taking care of the weeds, doing the trash cans in the common areas. And so within that one contract, they already pay for weed control, and they pay for pre-emergent. So the problem is you only do pre-emergent twice a year. So how do you staff your spray department as a landscaper for something that peaks like 10x 2 to 3 months out of the year?
Yeah.
How do you staff for that? You don't. You staff for the bare minimum, and you tell the crappy clients to kick rocks when you get busy because they're on the end of the list. So when I quit caretaker, I went to landscapers that I knew and just said, hey, I know that this is what you're going through. I just came from this.
Right.
Let me help you. And there's not a lot of pest control companies that have done that. There's a handful. We probably count on one hand how many really are good at it. But we really focus on that. And so, and it's been great because it's higher revenue stuff. Like we got the landscaper for Intel. We're their only spray company. They don't have a spray department. So they hire out all of their spray to be us. So we're talking tens of thousands of dollars a year is being spent on weed control at Intel. We're doing that because we have that relationship. Yep. So that's kind of what sets us apart from most pest control companies. And then I'm a nice guy. Like I'm not a jerk. The amount of pest control companies that I talk to that like want nothing to do with people blows me away.
Well, that's any home service business. Yeah, blows my mind.
Yeah, so I'm a personable guy. I'm not well-rounded. Outside of this podcast, I cuss a lot.
Thanks for controlling it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm rough around the edges, but I'm a really nice guy, and I got your back. And so it's just one of those things that most companies aren't like that.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that I'm learning, for years, I always was like, well, I'm just a nice guy. Like, I'm not a jerk.
Yeah.
So like owning a business is kind of left up to jerks,
Man.
and I was always like, well, golly, I'm like, my experience at that point was like, people that were, you know, poor quality individuals making millions of dollars. And I guess I'm never going to make millions of dollars because
Oh man.
this dude's a huge a-hole. And he's crushing it as far as money goes,
Right.
but he can't keep a wife and, his kids hate him.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go with, I'll probably just not make a whole lot of money. But I've actually learned over the last few years that actually, there's a place for
Yes.
nice guys.
Yes.
And those nice guys can make a fair amount of money.
Yeah.
And I've befriended a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I like being friends with people. Like it's, I think, kind of the part where this could be a successful model.
Yeah.
Where it's like if I make the right connections with the right people, and I don't, we talked about the price points earlier. I don't necessarily need a person to go, yeah, I want you every month to do this.
Right.
If I can get 25 clients to come in here 25 days a month at $800 a day,
right, then
I'll be fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like
be making some money,
I'll be making decent enough money, not not a million, but let's say that if I had 25 clients at $3,000 a month, which is kind of like the base package, then that's $900,000 a year, which I would have to have another trailer or two, but
at least some help behind the scenes with
I would be happy to do that,
right?
But even if it's not that, if I can get to $800 to $1,000 a day with this, that would be a reasonable thing, even 4 days a week,
right?
But if I can get somebody else in here that drives the trailer to another place and runs the operation, then we're off to the races.
100%. Yeah. It's a good opportunity there, man.
Yeah.
I will say one thing when you were saying, you used to have this belief about money. I do feel like I feel like money is completely detached from who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I, for whatever reason, I've always had that belief. There's bad apples in each situation, right? But like money just amplifies what you already are, right? And unfortunately, there's a lot of a-holes that and so when you get money, it amplifies that. But then you can look at that, other people, and we're not even talking extreme wealth, just looking at other people that make $300,000 a year, which is a good living wage. It's just going to amplify what you already do. So if you can handle 50,000 a year, you can handle, if you can handle $50,000 a year and be a good person, you'll be just fine at 300, 500, as long as your morals stay good, that's the main thing.
I think that, I think out of this conversation, the one thing that I'm going to take away from it is I need to find a good network to connect with. Not just for the sake of this making money, but like just for the sake of like in general helping people realize that content is an important piece. It doesn't have to steal all of your time. Do you know Brett Knoll?
Name doesn't sound.
He owns a solar company.
He owns United.
I think so.
Red beard. Yes. I don't know him, but I've met him a couple times.
Okay. So Eli and his son Cash used to do BMX together.
Okay, cool.
And Brett started a team called Lions Not Sheep. This is all around the 2020 mark.
Okay.
And about a year ago, I went over to his office and positioned him with a YouTube contract.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'd really like to run your YouTube channel, and I really think that it would be beneficial for you. And he was like, dude, that would be great. Like, you could come over to my house and run, like video me with my family, like cooking and doing stuff in the pool and running around the yard. And I was like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Like, if you want that guy, I think that could be cool.
Yeah.
And go for it. But I'm not that dude that's going to do that. Like, I've got my own wife and kids.
Right.
Like, I'm going to go be with them.
Yeah.
Now, if you want me to put one of my guys on it that is young and doesn't have a family to be home with, then we could do that. But I think you could probably, find somebody to do it for you.
Right.
You could even take your son with you to be your camera guy.
Yeah.
At times.
Right.
And so we didn't end up working together, but he is producing a lot more content now.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of him
Yeah.
for that. But it's like, you draw the line. Like, Brett's a nice guy. I would love to spend more time with him.
Sure.
I think he would be very, very much valuable to spend time with. But like, bro, you can't steal me away from my family. So
that's great, man.
That's the point.
I love that you're strong on that. That's great.
To a fault.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I know that we've been chomping at this. Maybe we'll make this 2 different podcasts. Eli's got to go potty. So go ahead, bud. You can go out. I'll hit the record button or the stop button here soon.
Yeah, perfect.
I've got to go potty too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you also.
Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah.
So let's see. On this last question, I want people to, like, you talked about earlier, entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but it's pushed in so many ways.
Yeah.
And you know what? To a certain extent, I 100% agree with Tommy Mello. Like, not everybody's supposed to be an entrepreneur, and I struggle to call myself an entrepreneur all of the time.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of weight that comes with that. And I just don't carry that much weight yet.
Got it.
I carry a lot of weight for my family, obviously.
Right.
So that's why I, would put family man or, dad or husband first before I say I'm an entrepreneur.
Sure.
What's some knowledge that you would like to pass along to, our friends out there that maybe want to be entrepreneurs or they want to run their own company? What would be like the most important piece of the puzzle that you would say is like the knowledge that you would want to pass on?
That's a good question. I feel like you have to love people to really succeed in business, and you don't have to love everybody, but you need to be, out there shaking hands. And like I said earlier, like, you need to be in front of a lot of people. I don't think if you dislike being around people, you can't build a business. You're just going to have other hurdles that people that like being around people are not going to have. I'm part of a lot of organizations in the commercial real estate realm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my biggest benefit there is just people like me. People know me because I've gone up and to somebody I don't know and been like, hey, let's take a selfie.
Yeah.
And like, just going out there and just kind of being goofy and liking people
Mm-hmm.
has been amazing. The other thing I would say is, and Gary Vee says this, and I love it. The world is not red or blue. The world is purple.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people I personally know, people that I've talked to this week, will go and be like, I will never do that. And it's not a moral issue. It's not a legality issue. It's just something that they've claimed to never do.
Mm-hmm.
And I just encourage everybody, like, it's not black and white, it's gray. Like,
Yeah.
And we've talked a lot about like pricing within the pest control world, right?
Mm,
Man, I would never do that service for that. Well, have you thought about the guy that has no expenses? The guy that is going out there and just trying to provide for his family.
right.
He's doing it for $25. You might not do it for less than 100,
Right.
but he's going to do it for $25, and that's okay.
Yep.
And knowing that like there's so many nuances to everything that you don't have the full picture.
Yep.
And that's okay. Like the people are going to do what they want to do. Stuff is gray, stuff is purple. It's just to think that you have all of the information to say whether or not somebody can do something or can't do something, or somebody should do something or shouldn't do something, is pretty arrogant.
Yeah.
And you probably shouldn't do that, as I'm telling you not to do
Yeah.
something.
Well, you know what's interesting about that is like what you could even ask it, like, what level of entrepreneur do you want to be?
Yeah.
Because for me, you know, I have these strict guidelines.
Sure.
So if I'm going to start a, you know, let's say a porta potty company,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, then there are a lot of things that I'm not going to do within that business.
Sure.
Because one, I'm not going to go, you know, vacuum out all of the junk
Right.
from there. I'm going to pay somebody else to do that. I'm not going to go drop them off.
Right.
So like all of these different things, like what level of involvement do you want to have? And what's the timeline on your strategy? So like, you know, are you okay? Like for your situation, like, okay, we're 2 years in to building this business at a full-time level.
Yeah.
I know that I want to be out of the day-to-day by this point.
Sure.
And I want to be doing another business at this point.
Yeah,
you know, like you got to have those guidelines. And for me, you know, do I want to run $1 million a year, you know, content agency?
Right.
Or do I want to do weed control?
Right.
Like,
right.
you know, that's part of pest control that I don't ever think of.
Sure.
But I know that a lot of pest control companies do it.
Yeah.
And to kind of land the plane, I'll end with this. And if you have anything else to say, it's totally fine. But when I was in my early 20s, I had just, maybe mid 20s. I can't remember if I had just come back from being on the road with my band, but I had a friend put me in contact with a small business owner through his dad. And this guy owned a pest control company, kind of a one dude operation. And, you know, we met and he sat down with me and was like, I want somebody to come in that's eventually going to take this over.
Sure.
And I want that person to come in and basically run the entire operation, and then I'll hand it to you. He didn't have the kids that wanted it to be passed to them or something. And so I met with him and he interviewed me and he liked me enough where he was like, okay, I'd feel comfortable passing the company to you at some point. Let's get started. And so, you know, one morning he said, be at my house at 5 a.m. And so I got up at, you know, whatever time it was. And I went to his house and he handed me a shirt and a hat. And he said, all right, go ahead and put those on and I'll be right back. And I stood there and I had them in my hand. And I was like, I could own this company someday. Do I want to?
Right.
Do I want to spend the rest of my life waking up at this time every day? And I stood there and my hands dropped to my side. And he came out and he looked at me and goes, what's up? I said, I'm so sorry to waste your time.
Yeah.
I really want you to find somebody that can take this over.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be me.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry you probably hate me. Because I have wasted some of your time, but I'm not ready for this. And I don't know if I'll ever be ready for this. And it's true, because I'm, 44 years old and I still don't like waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, right.
And I very rarely do it. There are times where I'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's for very important people. But it's a rare occasion.
Right.
Like today, I told Eli that I wanted to leave the house at 6:30 to get to the gym. We both woke up at 7.
Yeah.
So the most important piece was getting here to spend time with you.
Yeah.
So I tell that story because, like, we have to choose what type of person we want to be.
Yeah.
Being driven looks different from person to person.
Yes. 100%.
I'm just driven to try to be the best dad and the best husband. And sometimes that means that I don't get certain contracts.
Yeah.
And I'm all right with that.
Well, and that's great. I feel like success looks different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And every single one of those visions is correct.
Yep.
Right. Like whatever you think success looks like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I have one story about networking because you had mentioned it.
Yep.
You cool if I say it. So you ever listen to John Maxwell? He's a faith-based leadership guy, like the foremost leadership guy.
Yeah.
So I saw him live a couple times, and he would say, in person, he'd say, "Who do you know that I should know?" And I love that question because you never know what you're going to get from it. It could be, I should really meet my wife. She's the better half.
Yeah.
Or it could be somebody amazing, like somebody crazy, somebody high up that you'd have no idea. And so I got into the habit of asking people that question. If I was sitting down with a businessman, for the most part, because I'm interested in business.
Yep.
I would ask them that question. So I got introduced to the owner of Transcend Security. Chris Vedder is his name. He's one of the owners. And so I had lunch with him, and a mutual friend had introduced us. They're like best friends.
Okay.
And at the end of the lunch, I asked Chris that. I said, "Chris, you're very well connected. You own a multi-million-dollar company. Who do you know that I should know?" And he kind of sat there for a second. He was like, "Oh, okay." And he was quiet. And then he said, "Can I get back to you on that?" I was like, "Really? Okay." He's like, "I just don't want to give you a BS answer. I want to like actually think of who you should know." Okay. I appreciate that. That's good. Out of the blue, like 2 or 3 weeks later, he texts me. He's like, "Hey, I found the person." It's like, really? And keep in mind, I don't have any agenda.
Right.
I don't care if it's for business. Who's somebody that I should know?
Right.
And he said, "Hey, I'm vacationing in Belize right now." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I ran in to the CEO of Blue Origin, Jeff Bezos' rocket ship company." I was like, "That's cool." He's like, "Yeah, he agreed to have lunch with you." I was like, "What?" He's like, "He lives in Phoenix. He just retired as the CEO, moved down from Seattle. He lives in Phoenix." And I was telling him about your pest control company. I was like, "Really? Where does he want to have lunch? I'm there."
Yeah.
So I got to spend 2 hours. I bought lunch, and I got to spend 2 hours with Robert Smith, the ex-CEO of Blue Origin, and just ask him about Bezos and ask him about where rocket technology is going and like all of this. And I sat there and I was just like, this is the best question ever to ask anybody, because you never know where it will go, and you'll benefit almost every time. So if you want to network more, ask people who you should know.
Well, I'm going to turn it right back to you.
Oh, shoot.
Who do you know that I should know?
You should get to know Jason Payne.
All right.
Here locally, he's one of the best connectors with home service businesses. He's very connected social media wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you he could pull 30 people out of his phone that have a podcast that would love this idea.
Sweet.
That's who you should know.
All right.
Cool, dude.
Well,
I
dude,
love this.
Thanks for
Yeah.
spending time with me. Like, seriously, I did not know Matt before. I almost thought that we should kind of position it like the School of Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah.
Dude, like, hey, you how did you make your first $12? Whatever.
Right.
And like, kind of, position it like you just randomly walked into
that's
Sozo.
That's cool.
I thought about doing it that way because I think that would be like a fun hook
Yeah.
for the podcast, because it would catch them off guard, that disrupting piece.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I talk myself out of it.
You ought to try that sometime. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. Well, dude, thanks for hanging out with me today. Lately, the podcasts have been long, and this is officially the longest we've gone.
Cool.
I wonder what that will do for my Buzzsprout 4-hour a month limit. I wonder if I get charged more because of it.
Is that the platform you use for it?
Yeah, Buzzsprout.
Okay. That's great. I've not. This is like an amazing setup.
Thank you.
And like very professional, and it's very well put together. Dude, when I decided to do a podcast, I was like, hey, let's do a podcast. And it was like the next day, I had my iPhone on a tripod.
Yep.
And I'm just recording it. I don't have microphone, nothing. And so I saw something that you had posted, I don't know, however long ago. And you were like, people think that doing a podcast is easy.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it. Boy, it couldn't be any more true. I'm pulling up Riverside, and I'm like, how the heck do I edit this? And like, I can't get that to load. It's over an hour long, and it's on my iPhone, and I need microphones, and gosh, the lighting's just not right. And why is there like reverb coming back? Oh, the wall. So much.
Yeah, there's so much. Yeah, there's actually one piece of our operation here that is a little bit weird that you wouldn't really notice because we are able to edit it out. But there's a really weird hiss that we get when we're recording, and I can't get rid of it anywhere.
Interesting.
But through some AI software, we're able to cut it out.
Yeah.
And you just load it into the system, and then it pushes it out and it cleans it up.
That's
good. You really don't know until you, like, so many people are like, yeah, I want to start a podcast. It's not just loading a YouTube video. A YouTube video is so freaking easy. Yes, there are techniques to make the videos operate better and perform and stuff like that. But like, dude, podcast, like, you have to have a podcast host, and you have to have basically its own website, so that way there's, a storage facility for it. It's not like you can just plug it into YouTube, and YouTube is like, we'll put it here for free. Like, well, it takes a lot.
And like, I didn't start a podcast for any other reason than it was a networking tool.
This is,
and so like I've had a couple property managers on the podcast that I just wanted to have the clips of me talking to the property manager so I could become the authority on, he's talking to that guy.
Yeah.
Interesting. He must be somebody.
Right. Yeah.
You just know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just doing that, I'm a very much like measure once, I'll cut it 3 or 4 times.
Yep. Well, dude, we released the 10th podcast this week, which a lot, statistically speaking, most podcasts don't make it to 10.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. But I also know why.
Yeah.
Because it's, luckily, like, I have an editor that I'll send this to, and he'll chop it up and get it back to me quickly. But I've recently pushed the clipping to another guy. So I'll get the podcast back, and then I'll send it to my clipper, and he clips it up into, 5 or so clips, and then sends it back to me. And then I just go, okay, I need to post this. Like, I don't even care. I don't even care how it looks.
Yeah.
I need to just get it up.
Right.
Because it's all about awareness.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, do I post 10 times a day, or do I post once a day, or do I post 5 times a week?
Yeah.
What do I do? And it's like, just figuring all that out is challenging.
I bet you the right answer, it's going to be different for everybody, but I would post as much as you can see fit.
Yeah.
Whatever that number is.
Yeah.
For me, I'm trying to post 4 or 5 times a day, and it seems to be working.
Do you post in stories, or do you post in reels?
I try to do reels most of the time, because reels are what get the views. Like, I just posted one 2 days ago, and I think it's at 125,000 views. And it's
dang, dude.
All it is.
I get all psyched about 1,000.
Well, me too. Me too. But like this video here, I just had it up. This is the video.
Oh yeah, that one.
So it's at 115,000 views right now.
Dang, dude.
Which is like not usual. Like that, I get like 1,000 or 2,000 views, but like we'll go. My kid, this one's at 213,000. He just like downed a bottle of sprinkles.
Nice.
So I'm like, dude, what do you got going on here? But like, if it has anything to do with kids, like, so he's just like mouthful of sprinkles, dude.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. So like, dude, you gotta open. So like, he had a video. I gave him an orange, like a little cutie.
Uh-huh.
And the night before, he was giving me these cuties, and I was unpeeling them, and like 30 seconds later, he'd bring me another one. I was like, where are you putting these? And the next day, I'm in my office. He comes into the office, here, open a cutie. I'm like, okay, sounds good. So I get my phone out, I hit record. Here, I peeled it for you. Eat it. Eats the whole cutie. And then I videoed it, and watching him like chew it and be like, all gone, like 10 seconds later. I was like, my goodness, 5.5 million views.
Well, you crushed it on that one.
I just have no idea. Like, he's definitely getting more views than Ultimate. I need to put him in some Ultimate Pest gear.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we have, I did a video, with my younger kids. Let me see. I think that this is the shorter one.
My name is Sophie.
And this is Annie. And today we're making carrot cake muffin.
What the whoopee?
All right. Go.
What are we doing?
And it's slam it down.
Dude, I love this video. This is great.
Your guys' skills. Argue up with any but that tastes good, huh? 2 scoops.
2 scoops. Like, not 2, but
See, like, even all the editing in this, way beyond me.
This will eat a little bit further. Love it. I love it. We are gonna eat it today.
Yeah. Is that right? That's good. You want me to help you? Or ready? Set. Here, don't eat the paper. We get 3 thumbs up. Can you put your thumb up? 3 thumbs up. Thanks for watching.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
But that got 698 views.
Yeah, I think there's something in the algorithm for like.
I should probably post it again.
Absolutely. Well, and I think something like that's pretty edited. Something is just having the phone. And
the legit
continual video and not editing anything has always worked better for me than editing any part of it. The only thing that I'll do is I'll throw captions on it because nobody watches stuff without captions. But yeah, well, cool, man. Well,
awesome, dude.
Got more
no, dude, thank you so much. Yeah. And thank you guys for sticking around. We're at 2 hours.
Yeah.
Peace.
Awesome.